Hi! Are car headlamps getting too bright? I was faced with this question after my previous video on a laser-based headlamp. In this video, I will compare 3 different types: an old-fashioned halogen, a modern LED, and the rare and rather extreme laser-based LEP. I will test if you can tell their light quality apart. How well do they render colors? I will also test how bright they are. Can you guess which one scores the highest on a lux meter? It is way brighter than sunlight. When experimenting with a laser, wear safety glasses suitable for its wavelength and power output, and never look directly into a high-power LED or LEP. Last time I powered up a special car headlamp meant for high beam only. Its light source is a laser beam from a laser that turned out to be way more powerful than I expected it to be. But how bright is it compared to other headlamp types? For example, this halogen light, which I will use as a reference. This one tries to mimic a xenon arc lamp by filtering some of the red light out, making it appear bluer than normal halogen lamps. A bit odd, since the lamp would actually be brighter without this filtering. But as you can tell, the glass filtering isn't strong, barely blue tinted. Its color temperature is also only up to 3300 Kelvin, far from a true xenon arc lamp. This is very easy to power up compared to the laser headlight. On an H4 headlamp, you just apply voltage to these 2 pins to turn on the low beam. There we go. It starts glowing around 1.5 volts and gets brighter the more volts, and therefore watts, I apply to it. It is designed for 12 volts, but will get even brighter with shorter lifetime at higher voltages. The high beam works in exactly the same way, just on another pin with an unshielded filament. Let's measure the spectrum of the light from this halogen lamp on a spectrometer. Beautiful! A wide spectrum from ultraviolet to infrared, covering all visible spectral colors. Halogens have a perfect color rendering index, CRI, of 99 to 100. Very nice reference spectrum. In case you are curious, the filament on low beam has the same spectrum. Let's compare it to this modern H4 headlamp with LEDs. Again, very easy to power up using the same pins. This one even has a built-in cooling fan. Very practical. On low beam, 2 curbs with multiple LEDs light up. It draws way less watts than the halogen, and there's no gain from running it at higher voltages. It just lowers the amps. On high beam, all 3 LED cups light up. So, unlike the halogen, the low beam stays on when high beam is turned on this one. Must be because these LEDs are all shielded from emitting light all around them. They can't emit 360 degrees like the high beam filaments on the halogen lamp. However, the lamp does not draw more watts from having all 3 LEDs turned on. I guess the wattage is limited by the cooling. More watts would overheat the LEDs. What spectrum does this LED lamp have? I will use the low beam to protect my eyes and the camera from the high beam LED facing the camera. Oh my! Believe it or not, the high beam LED is not turned on. Only the 2 low beam LEDs. The spectrum from the LEDs is quite different. A lot of blue in this daylight balance 6500 Kelvin lamp. Much bluer than the xenon blue halogen. This is not a perfect spectrum for a white light. Compared to the halogen, the weak violet, cyan and deep red are noticeable. Likely a CRI in the range of 80 to 85, max 90. But at least very little energy is wasted on infrared and ultraviolet. The electrical watts are mostly used on visible light. A lot of light. Now, how about the laser headlamp? The laser itself is very powerful. I have measured it to be around 4600 milliwatts at 3 amps. I would like to visualize to you how much light that is. With the phosphor plate taken off and laser safety glasses on, I have direct access to the laser beam. Will it light a match? Yes, it will light a matchstick and cut it in half, using nothing but visible light. To be clear, the lamp is designed to not emit a collimated or focused laser beam like this out of the car. More info about how this lamp works in my previous video. With the phosphor plate back on, I am curious about the spectrum from this LEP headlamp. According to its specs, the spectrum should look like this. Ooh, that's not perfect. It can't be worse than that. Or can it? Okay, looks like they were honest in the specifications. The peak from the blue laser light is enormous, while the fluorescent phosphor excited by the laser light is mostly glowing green and yellow. Basically no violet, indigo, cyan or deep red from this lamp at all, giving it a low CRI of 65 according to its specs. You may wonder why the LED also has this big blue peak in the spectrum. It is because the LEP and LED technologies are in fact very similar. In a white LEP, a blue laser excites a fluorescing phosphor. In a white LED, a blue LED sits under the phosphor and excites the fluorescing phosphor. So the blue laser can make the phosphor on the LED light up too. There we go. I just turned the LED into an LEP. Now I wonder if the CRI range from 65 to 100 on these headlamps matter. Can our eyes tell the difference in their color rendition? I will test your eyes right after this short message. Thanks to my awesome patrons for helping out with the expensive but well worth it spectrometer. I wouldn't have it without your support. For just $1 a month, you can help me out too and get full access to all my posts on patreon.com. Link to my Patreon page in the description. Thank you. Alright, coming up are 3 similar clips marked A, B and C. One clip for each of the 3 headlamps as the only light source. To give the laser headlamp a wider spread, more similar to the other 2, I had to take its reflector off. The question is, can you tell which clip is lighted by the poor CRI laser headlamp? And which one is lighted by the perfect CRI halogen? A, B or C? Here they come. Did they look exactly the same to you or not? You guessed right if you think the clip with the laser headlamp was clip B. To my eyes, on my screen, it has an eerie 6 cyan tint to it. The LED and halogen are close, but clip A is the LED and C is the halogen. In conclusion, to my eyes on my screen, the color rendition looks the most natural on the halogen light. Acceptable from the LED, but a little off in direct comparison to the halogen. The laser headlamp, well, if you want everything in front of your car to look like a zombie movie, I guess you'll like it. My patrons were able to pick out the LEP from still pictures in a poll open to all members. Feel free to join for free and participate in future polls. As a free member, you can even watch my December video on Patreon. It features my best buy in 2024 and a minor repair of it. Next up, I want to compare the 3 lights' brightness. According to their specified lumens, the LED emits the most light. But how intense is their light at a distance, measured in lux? For perspective, my strongest studio light, a 15,000 lumens 180 watts LED, is around 26,000 lux at a 1 meter distance with its reflector on. The laser model already comes with a reflector to guide all of the light forward, so to be fair to the LED and halogen, I need a reflector for them too. I will use this one, a car headlight for H4 lamps. Starting with the good old halogen bulb running at 12 volts and measure at 1 meter since lux equals candela when measured at this distance. The candela unit is often used for car headlamps. The brightest spot I found in this case with this reflector is around 10,700 lux. What if I run the bulb at 13.5 volts? Oh, okay. It is now almost 50% brighter. I did not expect that much more. From running the filament hotter, I think its spectrum has shifted towards the region more sensitive to our eyes. Interesting. Before I test the LED and laser headlamp, I would like to tell you about a spectrometer for much more intense photons, the RadiaCode, from the sponsor of this video. This tiny device impressed me when I tried it for the first time back in 2021. I have used it ever since because it is packed with features that primitive Geiger counters can only dream of. Yet, it is an easy everyday carry. It fits in my pocket and pairs with my smartphone. So I will know if I'm near something highly radioactive, and I can quickly find the source using the search mode. And since this is a smart gamma ray spectrometer, I now finally have a chance of figuring out the actual radioisotopes in the source, opening a whole new world to me and re-energizing my enthusiasm for radioactivity. For the dedicated enthusiasts, RadiaCode is now releasing an improved G version with cutting-edge technology, a GAGG scintillation crystal. GG RadiaCode, GG indeed. For much more information, I recommend you check out their website, link in the description. Use the promo code BRAINIAC75 to take advantage of a special offer from RadiaCode. Details are in the video description. Thanks RadiaCode. Now back to the non-ionizing radiation. Now how about the LED headlamp? Is it stronger than the halogen? It sure is. The brightest spots are more intense than from a 180 watts LED studio light. Up to 34,000 lux when cold, settles around max 32,000 lux when warmed up, or 2 to 3 times more intense than the halogen. Finally, the laser headlamp. Does not look like much here, but this is a high beam lamp meant for throwing light up to half a kilometer down the road. Its light is in a tight, bright beam. How bright? Are you kidding me? I have never seen my luximeter go to 6 digits. Over 250,000 lux. 277,000 lux. The brightest sunlight on Earth at equator in a desert is around 100 to 110 kilolux. So this is easily 3 times brighter than any sunlight I'll ever experience here in the Nordics. Wow, scary and fascinating at the same time. 277,000 lux, or 277,000 candela, if measured at exactly 1 meter. I am technically a few centimeters farther away from the actual light source, and while my inner child likes playing with handheld probing, it is not very precise and thorough. If I was just 4 centimeters off, or didn't find the sweet spot, this matches the advertised 300,000 candela. Don't look into this at a 1 meter distance. brings me back to my initial question. Are car headlamps getting too bright? In Denmark, there are regulations in place for the high beam lamps on a car. Max 4 on one car can be lighted at the same time, and no more than 6 can be installed. Each of them has to be at least 10,000 candela. But there is also an upper limit. The sum candela of high beam lamps turned on at the same time are not allowed to exceed 430,000. Oops! If these are 300,000 candela each, 2 of them are 600,000 candela. If I am reading this right, these are by law too bright for road use in Denmark. For low beams, I can't find an upper limit. You can go as bright as you want to. But if the low beam lamp is above 2000 lumens, the car must have headlight washers. Doesn't help much if there is a water film on the road surface, reflecting the intense low beam upward. I am often blinded by oncoming traffic when it rains in the dark, as it so often does in Denmark. So, in my opinion, yes, car headlamps are getting too bright, unless you are alone on the road. And not all car manufacturers have mastered the art of not spreading intense light in a wrong direction. How is it in your country? Let me know in a comment. Hope you liked this video enough to click like and perhaps subscribe for more like it. In any case, thanks for watching. Bye for now.